Hey, what's going on, guys? I have about 1,500 bucks that I have ready to buy some inventory tomorrow for the shop. So I thought we could go through it since it was all hundreds, and I don't normally have a bunch of hundreds to go through, and see if we find anything that's worth at least more than face value, right? So if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe if you like any collectible, really. I'm into a lot of different stuff from Lego to obviously any kind of numismatic stuff, coins and precious metals and banknotes. But enough yabbing on, let's get into it. I like to look for the serial numbers first because they're just kind of simple. See if there's a pattern in the serial number or like a fancy serial number, as I almost knocked my camera over. Look for issues around where the anti-counterfeiting ribbon is here on $100 notes. And then, of course, we're looking for like major misprints and things of the like. Also, ink issues. Sometimes with the depiction of Independence Hall on the back of the $100 note, you can get some issues with kind of like ink smears and stuff like that around the trees and kind of more intricate detail. Nothing on that bad boy. Keep an eye out around the color changing ink for the ink vial here with the Liberty Bell and the $100 portion. I really like the redesigned $100 notes. I saw an older one kind of peeking in here somewhere. We'll get to that. Nothing so far. And nice condition overall, but nothing crazy collectible in the serial numbers. Of course, condition plays a huge part in it. I mean, you can sell notes in the raw for pretty good money sometimes, but of course, graded really high condition-wise is really going to maximize your value. Same with any collectible, though. Series 2017A. Series dates down here on newer hundreds. Newer as in like last. I think they were printed in 2006, 7. You can correct me in the comments. Nice little repetition of 5s and 2s, but nothing going on. There we go. There's that smudged, dirtied up notes that I like. Gross. There's like a hair sticking in that. We don't know what that is. Some ooze. Nice 4s here. But I only really hold on to notes if they're kind of more repetitious than that. This is not going to be worth anything over face value. And a lot of fancy serial numbers, as we refer to them, are not necessarily going to add tons of value to a note unless they're like a really collectible pattern. So date notes or kind of multi-repeating or block repeater serial numbers, stuff like that. Series 2017A also. A little bit of 3s, a little bit of 6s. Would have been cool to have like just 9s and 6s where it's able to be read, you know, right side up and upside down. That would have been kind of cool. And would have been a binary serial number with just 2 digits. Nothing going on there. And there's a couple areas, like there's a watermark over here, things like that that they've printed kind of in a multi-phase printing process to keep an eye out for. So you can kind of see it there poking out as I change it in the light. Of course, that's supposed to be there, but just print issues that kind of arise in those areas. Hey, nice little repeater trinary note. 2s, 8s, and 0s. Wouldn't say it's like a massive amount, if anything over face value of $100. It's in really good shape, though. Probably the, you know, kind of coolest little collectible serial number we've found so far. Nothing else really jumping out at me, but I'm going to set it aside. Now, trinary notes are more collectible than anything else. Really, if this would have been a date, like a birthday note, maybe 08/22/2008, that would have been nice. But for this series 2009 A note, pretty good shape. 2013 series note. Now, other notes, like denominations of US note from 2013, generally have an over ink on one or both of the serial numbers, excessive ink, or whatever you want to refer to it as. And in this case, on hundreds, it seems like they kind of were a little more pristine in printing them. And nothing jumping out, so just a little trinary note so far. Of course, let me know what you've come across in your coin and banknote searches. If you buy storage units, you go to thrift stores, whatever. I just love hearing about collectibles finds, so let me know in the comments about those. 2009 series. Nothing to talk about like graphics-wise because they redesigned the notes in kind of the early 2000s. And since then, there hasn't been any changes except for crud and boogers and stuff that are attached to them. 2017 A note. Well, I should say there shouldn't be. There's not zero change. The signatures are the only thing that are going to be different note to note. And there's that old one poking out, but let's finish with this. Sometimes you can see little issues like this seems to be just wear, but you can see where printing kind of protrudes through to the other side here on the reverse. And in some cases, if it's able to be read, really detailed, that might be worth a little bit more than face value to the right person. Here's a 2006 A series note. So this is, I think, the last series before they changed over to this other design. So you can see the differences, of course. Oh, if I held it right side up, maybe. You can see the differences there. Not crazy stuff, other than they added a lot of these other graphics for anti-counterfeiting measures. Nothing in the serial number, and they also changed up where the signatures are in relation to doing those graphics, of course. Different depiction, if I can talk, and angle of Independence Hall. These have a little bit more issues with kind of like excessive ink in the shadowing around where it says United States of America, $100. I've seen online and through groups I'm in on social media, people sell ones that have pretty major over inks or ink smears on this reverse side. So I would say keep an eye out for that. Nothing on that one though, but pretty cool to be a little bit kind of older $100 note. Then we're down here to the last few. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, missing a few digits from a broken ladder. Those are kind of neat and fun to collect. Back to that other. Let me know what depiction do you like more? I always like to compare those. I actually like the old reverse. It's a different-ish angle. I think one's from the front, one's from the back is what it seems. But I really like the older $100 note. Getting down there, the last two. First one, both of them are in pretty good shape. This one's got a little corner bend. Nothing in the serial numbers. And nothing on the reverse really jumping out. A little bit of... Would have been nice if that was like big blob of ink, which it is. But unfortunately, it's like ballpoint pen. Last but not least, some nice 9s in the middle. Would have been nice to just have 7s and 9s. I would have definitely held on to that binary serial number. You can get a few dollars over face value for those. Kind of a weird, like, I don't even know. I don't want to guess what that is. But anyway, a little bit of damage to the back of this note. Keep an eye out around the repetitious hundreds. Sometimes you can see there that there's a little ink caught up around them. If it's kind of, well, it's excessive ink from the front. But if it's blurring out portions of the note, that can be pretty collectible, but nothing going on in the reverse of that. What are we holding on to? A little TRINARY note. Now, I know some of you have commented, hey, TRINARYs aren't worth anything. I hear ya. They're more collectible than anything else, and just kind of a fun serial number. If this was more binaries, 8s, 2s, than 8s, that would have been awesome. And a radar note that can be read forward to backward, backward to forward. And then, of course, we got to see a little bit older 100 that you don't see around as much anymore. So that's always just nice to take a trip down memory lane and see the two differences, kind of the differences in graphics between the two. And then, of course, the reverse of the notes. And I'll zoom out just a hair. You might see some Warhammer stuff I'm working on, so sorry. And there's the reverse of them. Just to kind of see some differences, you can see anti-counterfeiting measures thrown into the new ones. I like the design of the reverse of the older note, but let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for coming to the video. Hit subscribe. Let me know what you've come across, and hopefully you have better luck in your coin in banknote searches than just a little old TRINARY note. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.